Hello, this is Sudhir Kumar Trivedi, Assistant Professor of Law from Gemtech School of Law, Greater Noida. The topic for today's lecture is Dying Declaration, Part 2, as we have already discussed the very basic concept of the Dying Declaration. Under this lecture, we will learn about various forms of the Dying Declaration and what is the evidentiary value of the dying declaration. First of all, we need to know in short what is the dying declaration. As we know that the dying declaration is the statement made by a person as to the cause of his death or as to the circumstances of the transaction resulting in his death. Section 32, subclause 1 of the Indian Evidence Act provides that the only statement that is given just before the death is the dying declaration. Also, the statement that is given before and which explain the cause of death is also a dying declaration. We have discussed these points in the earlier lecture. In a nutshell, it can be said it is the statement of a person who knew the cause of his death or the circumstances of his death. It is said that a man will not meet his maker with lying on his mouth, nemo meritorious presumptuary in our Indian law. It is a fact that is believed that a dying man can never lie. Truth sits upon the lips of the dying man. This is the very basic concept behind the admissibility of the dying declaration, behind the reliability of the dying declaration, behind the acceptability of the dying declaration, why we accept as a evidence, as a relevant fact, those dying declaration statements. Now let's see the various form of the dying declaration. The first form is the gesture and sign form. Gesture and sign form can form dying declaration even when the victim does not speak a word. The apex court stated that the evidentiary value of the gesture and sign will depend on the certain factors like like who recorded the statement, what are the gesture, what were the question asked, were the question asked were simple or not, etc. Gesture can be difficult to interpret, but this does not mean that the accused can roam freely after hurting someone. If the victim is not able to speak, gesture or sign can be taken as evidence. So it has been established that the dying declaration may be in the form of regarded when by gesture and sign form. If the declarant, the person who is giving dying declaration is not able to speak, then he may sign some gesture, so some gesture by which some interpretation, some presumption can be drawn. Like suppose if the question is asked, you were killed from knife, and he shake his head in up and down, then it is showing that he is saying yes. But if he shake his head left and right, it is shown that he is denying. So gesture may be a form of recording the direct declaration. However, it should be generally avoided unless and until it is impossible to record the statement of the declarant in any other manner. Now the next is the question answer form. So the next form is question answer form. The dying declaration should be in question and answer form. If the dying declaration is not in question answer form, it was held that it cannot be discarded for this reason alone. The statement can be recorded in narrative way also. It is not mandatory to record it in question answer form, but it is always best to record in the question answer form as that will make the evidentiary value of the dying declaration more. So it is generally preferable that the dying declaration should be recorded in a question answer form. It will be easy to understand what was the statement of the person who made the dying declaration, because he will answer to very specific question. So it is not, though it is not mandatory, it may be a narrative form as well, because it is sometime it is find out that there is no much time for the person to give a question answer to answer all the question. They generally speak all the incident in a one way, in one go, you can say, just giving the narration of the state cause of his death or the circumstances under which such incident take place. They don't have much time to question and answer to answer all the question which will be asked. That's why it is not always mandatory that the dying declaration may be should be recorded in the question answer form. It should be rather it may be in narrative form, but the preference should always be given to the question answer form. Now the next point is that whether FIR is a dying declaration. When an injured person lodges FIR and then dies, it was held that FIR will be relevant as a dying declaration. In Munnu Raja and others versus State of MP, the Supreme Court of India held that a statement by injured person recorded as FIR can be treated as a dying declaration, and such a statement is admissible under the Section 32 of the Indian Evidence Act. Suppose a person lodged FIR, and after lodging FIR, he got death. Then in that case, that statement which was given to the police officer will be a dying declaration, but we should keep in mind that the statement recorded by the police officer is having less evidentiary value. Though it will be considered as a dying declaration, but it will have some less evidentiary value. It may be a corroborative evidence under Section 157 of the Indian Evidence Act. Now, if the declarant does not die, what will be the situation? The question arises when the dying declaration is recorded and the declarant does not die. The statement is only converted in a dying declaration when the victim or declarant dies. If the declarant does not die, then the declarant can be used as a witness in the court against the accused. It is said that the dying declaration is only recorded on the presumption that the declarant is about to die, and the declarant won't lie just before dying. But if the declarant does not die, then the statement cannot be admissible as a dying declaration. He may be presented as a witness before the court. His previous statement, which were recorded as dying declaration, may be corroborated by some independent statement witnesses. Now, who should record the dying declaration? If the dying declaration is recorded by the magistrate, then it will hold more evidentiary value than any other dying declaration. Doctor and police officer are also authorized to record the dying declaration if the magistrate is not present there. But sometimes the situation arises where dying declaration recorded by the magistrate can be questioned. For example, if the magistrate records it even when the doctor does not approve the victim's medically fit. In this situation, the evidentiary value of the dying declaration can be questioned. Suppose the person whose statement has been recorded as a dying declaration statement by the magistrate, but the question mark has been there from the opposite side that while the victim was giving the statement was not in a fit medical mental condition that he can speak the right thing. He was not in the conscious, he was not in sense, and that thing has been proved by the medical certificate. In that case, there will be question mark on the dying declaration statement even though it was recorded by the magistrate. Question mark in the sense it will have less evidentiary value. However, if it has have been corroborated by various independent witness or statement, then it will be reliable. Now, fitness of the victim should be examined. It is very important. While recording the statement of the victim, it is very important to examine the health of the victim. It can be possible that he is making stories in the presence of drugs given. Judicial magistrate should satisfy himself that the victim is in a fit condition to give a statement. A certificate should be obtained by the judicial magistrate from the doctors examining the victim. So it is quite possible that some medicine has been administered to the victim, so he is not in his sense while he was making the statement. That's why it is good practice that before recording the dying declaration statement, a magistrate should ask a certificate from the doctor who is looking after the that victim that he is in a fit condition to make the statement. Now, what will be the language of the statement? As far as possible, the statement should be recorded in the language of the declarant or the court language. The court cannot discard the dying declaration on the basis of the language. It can be recorded in any language, even if the deceased made the statement in Urdu, Hindi, Punjabi language. It was held the statement could not be discarded only on the ground of the language alone, or on the ground that it was recorded in Urdu. So it may be in any language, but it is preferable if it is in the language of the court. However, the victim, the person who is giving the statement, cannot be forced to give the statement in any other language. Now, what is the evidentiary value of the dying declaration? The evidentiary value of the dying declaration will vary according to the circumstances of a particular case in which it is made. While considering the value of the dying declaration, the court take into account the whole but not part of it. The whole statement should be taken into consideration. For example, as a measure of safety, original dying declaration should be sent to the court like FIR, and its photostat should be kept in the case file. So, generally, the original statement recorded by the magistrate should be sent to the court rather than the photocopy and all things. Then it does not matter that the person has put a thumb impression or signed it if this is duly witnessed. But in the court, question does arise if the person who can sign puts a thumb impression. So it is not a question of contradiction that why the if it is has been thumb impression, if the witnesses are present there to prove that it is the thumb impression of the victim, but there may be some question mark that if the person was a literate person and he should sign the he generally sign the document in his life, then there may be some question mark. However, it will not you can say decrease the evidentiary value of the statement if there are some independent witnesses are there and they certify that the thumb impression was given by the victim in his full sense without any pressure compulsion. Then if a literate person putting the thumb impression is in such condition that he cannot sign, he was lying in the bed and could not get up to sign it, that may be condition, or it was inconvenient for him to put thumb impression due to the condition or injury. So there may be circumstances that the person is not able to give the sign, so the thumb impression may be taken. However, its credibility should be established. In the absence of such conditions, if there is thumb impression and this is not witnessed by the disinterested person, a doubt may be created whether this was done after the person died or take revenge by some interested person. So obviously there will be a question, there will be question mark if the thumb impression was not supported by the independent disinterested witness, then there will be a question mark why the person who was able to sign put his thumb impression, because it is quite possible that thumb impression has been taken after the death of that victim. There is usually no time limit that dying declaration become invalid if the person died after many months after making a declaration. Cases are recorded when it was considered valid after 4 months. Even the history given by the injured recorded by the doctor in the case file has been considered as a dying declaration by honorable court if it is mentioned that the patient told in the history that incident occurred in such and such manner which was responsible for death of the victim. So suppose while the victim was medically examined, he narrated the things, how the incident take place, and that was recorded by the doctor. And after that, the victim went in coma and he died after 3 months or 4 months. In that case, that narration which was recorded by the doctor will be treated as a dying declaration if it is giving some explanation. It is the yeah, circumstances. He is explaining the circumstances, transaction which resulted, the incident which resulted in his death. Hence, it is important that if such history is written as narrated by the victim, it should be recorded carefully, keeping in mention, mind the mentioned finding of the court. That's all about the various form of the dying declaration, the evidentiary value of the dying declaration. Thank you.